Welcome back to Lies P. This one we're going to be taking on the Archbishop Andreus. Now, anybody just joining us for this, I recommend bringing in the flame dagger. You can see here, I don't even have that highest scaling with arcane to increase the flame damage, but this is going to be absolutely fine. Probably want to make sure your fable arts are filled, which I'm actually going to do right now. I'll keep this bit in just for those that don't really know this. If you want a quick way to refill your fable bars without having to use consumables, all you need to do is walk into the training zone. And it'll be immediately filled back up. That way we can go ahead and start the boss fight with full fable almost immediately. Now then, if anybody doesn't know how to clear all of the poison, if you look here, this is the brazier. So directly above this, there's a brazier just there. Push it off. It's going to burn all of the oil stuff away. Thereby meaning you're not going to have to worry about the poison stuff. I think you can run through it anyway and you should be just fine. But, yeah, just makes this thing a little bit easier. I'm thinking about, like, preparations that you can make just to kind of come into this as good as you can be. You can probably have a better arm on than me. Realistically, the shield is probably pretty good for when you're up close to the second phase of the fight. But I haven't really kind of delved into that with the walkthrough yet, so not prepared in that way. However, I do have a farming site for the thermite. If you guys need that, that's up on the channel already. We're going in with, what, 5 heals? That should be okay. This is only +4. My actual kind of main blade is the saber that kind of the piece starts with. So we're not going to be using that. We're just taking the life amulet, puppet destroyers. In fact, we don't even need that on. That's a bad idea, really. It's not really anything better we can have, though. I mean, we could go and get the Fable wand. Okay, so I'm not going to do this. I'm just collecting my thoughts on something here. But I'm pretty sure from the dude that trades for boss weapons, you can get something that boosts your damage based on how many Fable bars you have, which is like 10% just base. So maybe that's going to be a good idea. You could go and boost your damage slightly that way. But we are not going to be doing that. This is kind of useless, but it's also not hurting us, so we're fine with that. Make sure we've got all the best gear on. In particular, you want to make sure that you have the corrosion resistance, because this is going to be trying to infect us with that. Either way, let's get the fight started. Of course, I do recommend bringing in the helper, and mostly because we want it to survive to the second phase. Okay, the reason for this is basically we want it to bait the boss in the second phase so that we can get behind it. That way we can do some pretty significant damage before, hopefully anyway, the assistant goes down. Now, I'm probably going to try not to talk too much during the boss fight. I find that when I'm talking during guides like this, I end up being very unable to do what I want to do properly. But we realistically want to, set this thing on fire, because that's going to help us to get it down. When it does this, you kind of want to get off to the side or underneath it. Go in the wrong direction there. Off to a very poor start, I'm afraid. When it comes to the tongue swipes, you want to look for the... the direction of its neck. Maybe it's down like that to get charge on it. You can see kind of like from the distance there how much of a forward slant that slam has on it. Yeah, be aware of that third slam comes in. My crit, thank you. I'm probably going to save my Fable right now for the next phase. Get away from that. Getting risky here. There we go, into the second phase we go. So I find it to be a good idea to take a heal here. Let the NPC run on in. We want to get around the back. We don't really want to be locked onto the front, and that's actually kind of a nice move for it to have done that early. We want to get into the back here, because this is going to keep its moveset at least somewhat recognizable from the first phase. Let's get the flames on. Chicken walk is well annoying. Give me a charge on there. There we are. Alright, we don't want to be on the side where the bishop is. We just want to keep on doing this. We'll do the crit right now. Right, we want to get off to the side of this. It's probably a good time for me to repair. Now, if you want something to make this second phase a bit easier, now is a good time to burn off a little bit of thermite just to finish the fight down. Get him with the crit. And we'll call the Archbishop done.